Hey everyone, Merlin here. For the past few years, there's been a lot of talk of a Star Wars show in development known as The Acolyte, to be made by Kathleen Kennedy's new best friend, Leslye Headland. Now, while many people are excited about this show, some of us think it's basically made up and not going to happen. Now, this year we've received evidence that it will be happening, and at this year's Star Wars celebration, Kathleen Kennedy decided to make it official and announce that sometime next year, The Acolyte will be dropping on Disney+. But recently, there's been a lot of talk over whether The Acolyte has been canceled or not. Most of the mainstream shill media, and even most of the content creators in the Fandom Menace area of the fandom, seem absolutely certain this show will be coming out as planned. But there are a few content creators, such as Doomcock and Cameron Pasha, that are hearing from their insider sources that not only has this show been indefinitely shelved, but that Leslye Headland has been let go by Disney. So we have two competing narratives. MakingStarWars.net and BespinBulletin.com are both reporting that their sources are saying that principal photography has wrapped and that post-production has begun. Doomcock and Cameron Pasha are both reporting that their sources are reporting that the show is soft canceled and that Leslye Headland has been let go. Now, you may not be surprised, but I'm inclined to believe that The Acolyte has been shelved and that Headland has been wished all the best by Lucasfilm. There are a few reasons for this. One, the entire project only exists because Kathleen Kennedy and Headland had said that this was an existing project in public appearances, and no previous evidence of its development existed. It only seemed to gain traction after Bob Chapek had been fired, and Kennedy had regained more control of Lucasfilm. There have been rumors that Kennedy was instructed by Bob Iger to announce her retirement at Star Wars Celebration, and there were reportedly supposed to be tribute presentations for her at the event. However, what we saw at Celebration was anything but. There was no sign of her stepping down, and there were announcements of an absurd number of new Star Wars projects. There's a Dave Filoni film, a James Mangold film, a Rise of Skywalker sequel starring Rey, and of course, The Acolyte. There were rumors that, aside from the Rey film, Iger did not previously approve of any of these, and that Kennedy was going rogue with this new batch of projects. Which seems credible. It's her usual MO. Whenever she's in hot water with Disney, she'll suddenly announce a bunch of new projects as a distraction. And of course, to everyone's surprise, very few of these projects ever seem to find themselves becoming reality. Cameron Pasha, who has worked on numerous television shows, says that the several months that The Acolyte supposedly filmed is not nearly enough time to film 8 episodes of television. Cameron's insider source is reporting they may not have filmed a season of episodes, but instead 3 shorts to be combined together in a sizzle reel. And then there's another reason why The Acolyte may not be in production anymore. Leslye Headland, the showrunner, has not one, but 2 brand new jobs. She's an executive producer and director on a vampire show called Night's Edge, and she's also an executive producer and director on another show called Single Drunk Female. Some people, like Josh at Den of Nerds, WDW Pro, and Valiant Renegade, all suggest that since filming on The Acolyte is over, she's free to do these other things. But a showrunner is involved in every aspect of production, and she would pretty much have to spend most of her time on that until she's actually finished early next year. But Merlin, Taylor Sheridan is the showrunner of like 5 TV shows. Oh, please. Headland is no Taylor Sheridan, not by a long shot. And then, of course, you have the legal trouble the show is in because of a producer named Karen McCarthy. You see, McCarthy accepted a job on The Acolyte, turning down a very lucrative gig on an Apple TV show called Sugar, in which she would have made millions of dollars over the lifetime of the show. But then, not long afterwards, they let her go without cause, and when she objected, they offered her $5,000 to go away and keep quiet. And now she's suing Disney for a lot of money, and Disney is not happy at all. And this show could easily be considered to be an albatross for the company. In addition to that, Disney is desperately trying to find $18 billion in cash to pay Comcast for their share of Hulu, and the money they can get as a tax write-down for permanently shelving the show is very likely much more than any increase in revenue that would result in putting the show on Disney+. Add to all that the growing likelihood that Kennedy's days at Lucasfilm are numbered, especially with so many of her staunchest allies, like Christy McCarthy, Victoria Alonso, and LaTondra Newton, being picked off one by one. And with her having less and less protection, it can be argued that she is no longer as untouchable as she once was. And if Kennedy should leave, I believe any pressure Disney feels to keep the show in production will disappear. So, is the Acolyte canceled? I really don't think we're going to find out for sure until next year. But if you want my guess, I would say yes, I believe it is. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Be sure to subscribe and even do that thing with the bell. And remember, folks, no matter where you're going, there you are.